What's going on, YouTubers? It is your boy Alyx, man, and this is a follow-up video to my Raw review last night. Yes, I still think Raw sucks. Yes, I still think the show overall was horrendous. But I have to admit, what took place at the end has caused some buzz in the world of wrestling. Everybody is talking about Seth Rollins betraying the Shield, joining Evolution, and ultimately leading to the demise of one of the best groups to come around in wrestling in a long time. It's a great talking point, and in this video, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about some pros, going to talk about some cons, and then ultimately talk about where I stand on the subject, but it's just to mainly get you guys talking. I mean, as soon as I'm done with the video, or while I'm doing the video, start writing some comments down below about your thoughts on this. How do you feel about Seth Rollins turning on the Shield and joining Evolution? Do you think this is a great thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? You know, start talking about it, because damn, man, it's not like we get a lot of things to talk about in wrestling nowadays. But let's start off with some pros. Let's talk about the pros first, and then I'll get into the cons, and then, you know, we'll go from there. First thing that I like about this is the whole idea that the architect of the Shield, the guy that's the glue holding them together, the guy that pretty much started the group, was the one that led to its demise. Anytime you have a story where the villain wins, is always something that creates intrigue and interest in any story, in a movie, and anything that has to revolve around, you know, good guy versus bad guy. When the villain wins, there's always a lot more intrigue than when the good guy wins, because it doesn't happen all that much. And the villains won this one. Despite the fact that the Shield has beaten Evolution so many times, pretty much decimated the entire group, Triple H still comes out saying, I broke the Shield. I found a way to defeat the group. And he did it by turning the architect against his own group. It creates a lot more questions, and it gives fans a reason to watch more in the future. And ultimately, that's what needs to happen. Fans need a reason to continue watching Raw, so Raw can be must-see TV. You know? Why did he do it? Why did Seth Rollins turn on the Shield? What is his reasoning behind it? That is one of the many questions that we create by doing this. One of the biggest pros of this entire thing is that the Shield goes out with a bang. What a way to go out. You know, after decimating the entire roster for how many years? Almost 2 years. Beating everybody in their path. Leaving a waste of destruction and blood. I'm going all out with it. But you know what I mean, right? Pretty much dominating the entire roster. What is there left for them to do? Seriously, they've won tag team championships. They've done everything they can possibly do as a group. So all that's left for them to do is to fizzle out until they don't matter anymore. And instead of doing that, the WWE chose to end it while it was still hot. This is good, because fans will remember the Shield a lot more because they went out on top. Trust me, that's always the best way to go out. Go out while you're still good, because fans will remember and respect you long term than if you just fizzled out and people just got sick of you. And it also leaves room open for a nostalgia run years down the line. You know, after Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns became top stars, where they've established themselves with championship runs and big moments and just memorable stuff that makes them great stars in WWE. When they do eventually come back together, it's gonna be a big moment. Like Shawn Michaels and Triple H coming back together. People remember it. People love it because it's DX. DX is awesome. Like The Rock and Mankind coming back together. People remember it. People think it's awesome because they've created such awesome TV as a group that them coming back together creates good TV by itself. So that's always a good thing for the Shield. Another pro is the idea that Seth Rollins, since he's joined Evolution, will be seen more as a top prospect. You know, WWE putting him with Evolution should be a good thing by itself, because it shows that the company has a lot of interest and stock. They're putting a lot of stock in Seth Rollins as a main fixture on the show. And it's a good choice. Seth Rollins, like we know, is a great talent. So seeing him get this type of treatment, seeing him get this ball to run with, is very intriguing. Like, okay, he has the ball. What's he going to do with it? Is he going to score a touchdown? Will he fumble it? Who knows? But at least doors of opportunities are being opened and will open for him now that he's getting this spot. And this is something we as fans have been wanting to see for years. New people getting top spots, new people getting top storylines, and new people being pushed to the main event scene. And we could see that with Seth Rollins. And we also have the whole third wheel complex thing that, let's be real, Seth Rollins was suffering from. If you think about the Shield, most of you do not think about Seth Rollins. Although he's a great talent, although he's a great wrestler, he's most likely the best wrestler in the entire group. But most of you don't really think about him. You either think about Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns. And let's all say it, when we thought the Shield was going to split up earlier this year, we kind of felt like Seth Rollins was going to have the most trouble. And even though Jim Ross said otherwise, I'm pretty sure deep down he knew it too. He was going to be the one who had the harder time getting that main event scene, other than Roman Reigns, who had the look and the power of a WWE wrestler that WWE looks for, and Dean Ambrose, who has the charm and the personality that WWE looks for in villains. Now, since he's joined Evolution, we can play that into the storyline. We can talk about how Seth Rollins felt like, you know, he was overlooked and undervalued by the fans. Maybe not by the teammates, but by people around them. And he didn't want to be seen as that. He wants the spotlight to himself. He wants to be the guy in WWE. Makes a lot of sense. It's a great way to go with his heel run, and I would look forward to it if that is the case. We also create a lot of scenarios for Seth Rollins to have great matches as a heel. I mean, he can face a Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, or Roman Reigns, because he broke them up. It would make a lot of sense. Daniel Bryan could make sense. John Cena, I would love to see that. These guys aren't good guys, but still, Bad News Barrett, Cesaro, Rob Van Dam, maybe bring back a Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins would be a fantastic match, a fantastic feud. Could work out very, very well. You know, so we do a lot of good things by turning him heel. We create a lot of scenarios where he can fight new opponents. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is perhaps the best thing for Seth Rollins. Because he turned heel, his rise to the top is a lot less rocky. You know, I can see him becoming a main eventer or a WWE champion a lot more faster under this role. As a face, we all knew, like I said before, that he was going to struggle more than Ambrose and Reigns. But now, because he's in Evolution, he stands out more because he has the support of two former world champions, multiple-time world champions, and future Hall of Famers backing him up. Let's say they do play up this Evolution thing and they follow the same concept, you know, past, present, future. The past would be Triple H, the present would be Randy Orton, and the future would be Seth Rollins. Meaning, he would be a very strong focal point of the group because he's the future. And since WWE nowadays is about the future, he would get a very strong showcasing. And if that's the case, he will easily get to the top very quickly. As a matter of fact, since we're coming up to Money in the Bank, I can see him being Mr. Money in the Bank. Or if the championship is on the line, he probably could win the championship. I see it now. A lot more easier than I saw it when he was the third wheel of the Shield. You know, and that's good. That's always a good thing. So, those are all the pros to this whole scenario. Now, let's talk about the cons. Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose would have made a lot more sense. Just because something is shocking and unpredictable does not always mean it was the best way to go. It may get you talking, but it doesn't mean that it was the best thing for business. I mean, AJ Lee as the general manager, it was shocking. People talked about it, but was it the best thing to do? No. Mae Young giving birth to a hand, it was shocking. People still talk about it, but was it the best thing to do? No. Triple H having sex with a corpse, it was shocking, and people still talk about it. Not in a good way. So, was it the best thing to do? No, just because something comes from left field doesn't always mean, guys, that it was good. Vince Russo should be a prime example of that in his booking. I'm just saying, okay? To me, Roman Reigns could have been a much better replacement for Batista. He already has that powerhouse persona about him, but he has a better look, and he fits the mold. I mean, past, Triple H, present, Randy Orton, future. Roman Reigns, easy. And everybody knows that Dean Ambrose is one psychotic meltdown away from being the biggest villain in WWE. Seriously, all he needs to do is lose his mind. And you can play up the whole storyline again, that both of them can play the storyline up. They feel like in their own way that they are the reason why the Shield is awesome. You know, Roman Reigns pretty much bailed the Shield out of every bad situation. And Dean Ambrose is the reason why people look forward to their promos and think they're awesome in terms of their personas. You know, even Seth Rollins can say something about that. I mean, they all contribute enough to where they can play that up, and whoever splits up with the group. But I think it would work more and a lot more easier for Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose. Another con is a diminishing of Seth Rollins' wrestling style. Since he's a heel, we most likely won't see him flying around a lot and doing crazy stunts, because that's what good guys do. That's what people do to get love from the fans. So sorry to say that's going away, most likely. And see, that's a problem, because that's the main reason why fans love him so much. Because he kills himself. He shows so much heart and passion in his wrestling through the high-flying stunts and him pretty much sacrificing his body every single night, that it's hard not to like him. We're not going to get that anymore. Or not as much. I don't know. Maybe they'll make him still do it, but in spurts, which is okay. So hopefully he either keeps it or comes up with a new captivating wrestling style that makes fans like him. You never know. Maybe he could. Maybe he'll get a personality that will help him, you know, compensate for the lack of high flying. You never know. Big con. No more Shield. No more Shield. I mean, yes, again, they're going out on top. But, for short term, no more Shield. That means a lot less reasons to watch Raw now. You know, maybe that's not the best thing to do right now for WWE, but who knows. And yes, I know they can get a new member at any point, but it won't be the same, guys. You can't recreate magic twice. And then we also still have that third wheel complex, but seen in a different light. Because now, Seth Rollins can go from being the third wheel of the Shield to now being the third wheel of Evolution, where Randy Orton is the main guy wrestling for the championships, and he's the main focal point. And Seth Rollins is the mid-carder. And that's not going to do him any favors. It's not. Because not only are the fans going to boo him, but now he's not going to be featured all that strongly. And that's not going to be good. Especially if he can't wrestle with the high-flying stunts or anything like that. Not going to really help his chances of making that main event scene. You never know. Also, think about this. Will this storyline last all that long? Do we know? Is it long-term or short-term? For all we know, this could be one of those storylines where he joined the enemy group to kill them from the inside, like they did with John Cena and many others before, and it's, that would be such a buzzkill. That would suck so much if this was a short-term storyline just to get people talking, and then it ends. Wow, that would suck. Hopefully that's not the con. Hopefully that's the con that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And also, think about it this way. It's kind of weird that, you know, you have the Shield decimate Evolution. And I mean decimate Evolution. They beat them at Extreme Rules, and they beat them 3-0 at Payback. They are better. They are superior to Evolution. They've proven themselves to be the better group in this war. Now, all of a sudden, a member of the group that proved that they were superior joins the other enemy group after months of being at war with them. When did this happen? So did Triple H talk to Seth Rollins after they won the war? And then he got into his head talking about how, you know, you're better than the group, you deserve better, and he joined them? That's kind of weird. Or did he talk to him before the war started and this was planned months ago? That's still very weird, because why would he go to war with them and go through all this trouble of fighting them if he was going to join them afterwards? Did you see where I'm coming from? You see the holes in this entire thing, and that's something that could hurt them if they don't play this well. Ultimately, this is the last con I have to say. I just don't think Seth Rollins can make this work. I don't. I don't see Seth Rollins being a very good heel. I don't see it. Some people, certain wrestlers, are just not meant to be heels. Some people aren't like a Rock or an HBK or a Triple H who can work both sides and be good at it. I'm sorry, I don't see it working. Some people are meant to be babyfaces. Some people can't work a babyface role. Some are just meant to be heels. Seth Rollins is just such a natural good guy. Fans won't boo him. Be honest with yourselves. Will you boo Seth Rollins on Raw? Do you want to hate Seth Rollins? You don't. You really, really don't. Exactly. I don't think Seth Rollins can make fans boo him. He can try, but it won't go over very well. I don't think he's going to garner the right heat to be a heel. And if you're going to be a heel, you have to garner heat. I think he'll fall flat, honestly. I don't really think he'll work very well as a heel. If he maintains his high-flying style, he can at least be seen as a badass, which is better than nothing, but not really a heel. And that, to me, is the biggest con that I think Seth Rollins is going to struggle with. Now, look, only time will tell if this was a great move or not. Again, just because it was shocking, and just because people are talking about it, does not mean it will benefit Seth Rollins' career in the long run. I mean, again, people remember AJ Lee as general manager. Hell, people remember Mark Henry's fake retirement speech last year. But did that retirement speech really do anything to benefit his career? Where is Mark Henry right now? Where is he? Exactly. It didn't, people. It was a nice moment. It was, but when he retires, it'll just be a little snippet. Seriously. And same thing applies to Seth Rollins. People down the line, years down the line, will remember Seth Rollins for being the demise of the Shield. That will always be remembered. But will it ultimately benefit his career? Or will people look back on this and go, man, I wish he would have stayed with the Shield? And it all depends on how Seth Rollins runs with the ball and how WWE books him. It all depends on where it leads to. So, I'm going to say this again. Like I said in my Raw review, WWE, Seth Rollins ultimately, prove me wrong. I am begging you. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to create great TV that will make me go, damn, Seth Rollins, you are awesome. Seriously. Prove me wrong. That's what I want you to do. Please. But thank you for watching this video, guys. We will see where this leads in the near future. This is your boy, Alyx Man, signing off. Catch you guys later. Peace.